Good morning. Welcome to part 2 of the SELinux lab demo. When we left this, I had installed SELinux. I had created a new user, actually a couple of them. And the next thing we need to do is add that user to SEmanage. Basically use the SEmanage login command with the -a add flag to put a user in a group so that SELinux knows to watch it. And that command looks like this. There is a bit of a, in the instructions, let me come on over here. Okay, so you see in the instructions here, there doesn't seem to be an underscore in user U, but you do actually need that underscore right there. So I've actually done this already, so I get login mapping already defined. So I can move on to the next step, which is to look at the user security group list with sudo SEmanage login -l list. And so I've got JRandom, I've got root, I've got systemu. Oh, you know what? Let's do this for me personally. Let's add my account to this. Okay, user system not set in password file. I think that it may be complaining there, but it seems to have worked. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let's check on SELinux's default status. So sudo SE status. Boom. Okay, it is enabled, it's got a mount point, it's got a root directory, it's in permissive mode. The config file says it's going to stay in permissive mode. Okay, let's see. So, let's see. So ping 172. Okay, so I can do this. Okay. So we need to go back into the root account. What we're going to do is set the enforcement state to sudo set enforce 1. Now remember, there's a couple of commands you can use with SELinux to determine your enforcement status and change it. The first command, let's do get enforce. That'll tell me I'm in permissive mode. If I do set enforce, if I do set enforce 1, the 1 means the 1 means it's in enforcing mode. So 0 is permissive, 1 is enforcing. It's like a Boolean operation. 0 is false and 1 is true. So I set my enforcement method. And now let me do get enforce again. So now I'm in enforcing mode. What I'm going to do now is try to ping again. And this is going to fail. This is what I expect to see. It's just not doing anything. Control C. Okay, so now what I can do is I can do set enforce 0 to flip it back into permissive mode. And just to confirm my work, permissive. And I'll ping my own loop back again. What's happening here is because I added myself to this list of users managed by SELinux, and because I changed the enforcement mode from permissive to enforcing, even simple things like ping no longer work. Let's see. So let's audit the logs. So sudo au search -m avc-c ping. See what happens. Okay. Okay, so it is being denied. What I could do here, because there's a lot more you can do with the login command. What if let's try something. So this is the command that added me to the list. What if I change this to a -d to a D? What if I take myself off the list? We're waiting. I'm pausing. Okay, so I took myself off the list. The next thing I'm going to do is set my enforcement mode again. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting my enforcement mode to enforcing. Let's make sure so it is in enforcing mode. Okay. Okay, so obviously that's still not working. So obviously the enforcement mode is tied not to the user, because I just took myself out of, and actually let's look at this. Let's look at SEManage login again. See, I'm no longer on the list. So the fact that I set it into enforcing mode, despite the fact that I'm not on this list, I still can't ping my own loopback, which is a bad idea. Anybody should be able to ping the loopback because it's a fundamental, one of the things you might need to do just to make sure that your TCP IP stack is healthy. Every once in a while it's not. So let's set enforce 0 again. Okay, so there you go. This has been a demo of the SELinux lab. There's a lot more you can do with SELinux. If you're working out of the book, all you really do in that lab, as written in the book, is just do set enforce and get enforce. This illustrates another deeper level of functionality. Thanks, and have a good day.